All right, want to do a quick video on these Irish Setter wing shooters. I've done videos of these in the past, and I love doing boot videos. I love boots. I like talking about them. I wish people would comment more so like we can have these conversations. My initial video on these were on a different channel. We since removed it because we weren't keeping up with the content and everything else. And I was harsh on these, and I probably should have included the proper context of like what I used them for. And that was why I was harsh on them. And I get it. You know, for a plumber, electrician, mason, HVAC, people going in and out of houses and trying not to track stuff in, I can understand why people would love these things. I have a ton of positives about these and one negative, and I concentrated on the negative so much that I think I just turned people off, and that's fine. Because I get it. I understand what it's like when you go to work every week in the trades and somebody on YouTube in his diner room is putting a boot video up, trashing your boot. And let's do it over because the other video is gone anyway. So here's the positives. Ready? Wingshooter is the most popular boot I have ever seen in my area. Second would be a Brunt Marin and traction tread lights. Those are the most popular boots I see. And I would take this over a Brunt Marin any day. If you told me you were only gonna give me one of these boots and I had to hop around all day like I was on a pogo stick over a Brunt Marin, I'd take these. These are about 199 bucks. It's a value and a half. And I actually went out and bought another one years ago. That's how much, even though I wasn't positive on these, that I still think it's a great value. The leather is waterproof. The interior has a liner that's waterproof. And the thing I like about these liners, I have never torn through them, which is kind of rare for me. Usually my heel will eventually cut through that liner, and that is not torn. And that looks like a tear, but it's not. I've never gotten water in these suckers, ever. And they're waterproof and warm. And I like the way they look. They have a good look. They really do. And I think that's somewhat important to have a boot that looks nice, because you're gonna wear it all the time, right? You're gonna be working in it. You have to go do errands after work. But yeah, if you're in the trades, I can see why you'd like these. And a mason actually suggested these to me. You're getting up at 5 a.m., you're making your coffee, you open your cooler, you're off to work, you hurt yourself last week, you're starting to feel better, you hurt your thumb, right? It's Monday and you re-injure it, and now you have to work with the entire week, and then you go and watch YouTube and someone like me trash this boot. So let's talk about the things I like. Ready? I like the leather. I like the look of it. I like the warmth. I like the waterproof. I like the value a ton. I love the welt. They give you a leather welt with these things at 200 bucks. That's not bad at all. I like the toes, the extra leather they throw up there. I think that's pretty good. And I've seen people tear through the side here. I've seen that flap off. I personally haven't done it. I put, not these, but I put my previous pair through a hell and back. I can't complain about the leather at all. I didn't tear through the two-piece mock on either boot that I've owned, which I like. So that was a real plus to me. On the back side, they give you the speed hooks. They give you the assist tabs, which I liked. The rolled over collar feels pretty good and comfortable. I can't complain about the comfort. I really can't. I like them. I do love the comfort. I can wear these for a long time and not suffer in any sort of pain. The insole is decent. I found it to be pretty good. I gotta say, it's not the same quality as a 2412. The insole on this is a little bit more robust than something like this, but for stock, I mean, they're pretty solid. I gotta hand it to them on that. It's, it's Red Wing Irish Setter Wingshooter. It's their lower level of boot, and they're made in Vietnam, so that could be a huge turnoff for some people. The tongues are good. I gotta say, I usually have a hard time with tongues. I twist them because my ankles are a little bit thin, even though my feet are wide. And they laid pretty flat, and I haven't torn any stitching on these suckers. The trouble spots, I haven't ripped them up on the corners, which I like. It's got that little cutout here where you can get some bending and comfort while bending. So if you're a plumber, you're an electrician, you're a mason, and you're doing a lot of squatting and bending right there at the job site, and you're trying to fix something low, it's pretty good. Automotive, same thing. It's just the concrete. They weren't great on concrete for me. The outsole, the pluses are this. It's truly a dual density, and you can see it. up front here. It's a different density. So you're gonna get the softer squish in the middle, but with some of the hardness where you need it. And for me, up front is where I need it, because that's where I kick everything. And they hold together pretty well like that. Like the Merrimack outsole I love, but when I start kicking these things up front, that's gonna get torn to shreds, which is okay. It's not gonna be the end of the world, trust me on that one either. But with these, I never ran into that ever, and you're not going to. The side here too. This is kind of interesting. I like this part. Ready? A Merrimack outsole that you find on Thorogood, Duraderos, tons of other brands. This absorbs a lot. You're gonna get every grease, oil, dirt's gonna pour into that, and you're gonna see it. It's gonna turn really dark. This is a lot more, less porous, more dense. I don't get these dirty anywhere near as much. That's the truth. These I do. So that's something. The stitching has always been good on these. I got triple stitch. I don't have any fraying after a couple years of, I'd say more light use than heavy duty use, but still, quality control is there. In my opinion, I gotta say, they have some standards with their quality control. And Red Wing has always had that, no matter, where they're built, to be honest with you, I find. The other thing I do like about it is, you can wear these out. I don't have to just wear them to work. I can go out. They look pretty good. I think they actually do look better when they get worn in a little bit. It's not, they do have like an embossed type of covering on these, but when it wears away, I find it to look really good. The liner, when it gets past the leather, on any type of liner boot, you're gonna collect the water under there, and it's gonna probably wash itself out through the welt area. That's what I find on my Thorogoods for sure. But the bad part of this boot, in my opinion, on concrete, I did not care for this outsole. I really didn't. It was just way too slick for me. I just never got great traction on concrete on these. These like knobs here, for me, they wore down super fast. And not only that, even when they were there completely, I still didn't get great traction. And the grooves here, they're just too spread out for me, personally. I like them in here though. That was kind of good for like ladders and stuff. That was okay. Back here, they wipe out pretty quick. The heel wipes out pretty quick. And then when you tear through this portion, well, then you're into that middle section, the other density. And then you're gonna start eating away at that really quick. And I haven't got to that point yet. But you can see it. I got a layer here, and I got a layer here, and then I got my slipper sole there. So there is multiple layers of different densities on these, that's probably why they're so comfortable, I think. So that's some of the issues I have with these, is just this. It didn't do it for me. Now they do make another type, and that's the Wingshooter ST, which is a wedge sole, which I'd like to try. I bet you that'd be way better. I think that'd be much better on like the work environments that I would need them to perform on, where you get a wedge, boom, and you're just down on that thing, and it's got full traction on the bottom. I think that would work pretty good for me. These do have a steel shank. I don't know if I mentioned that earlier. They do have a steel shank. I had a person comment years ago telling me that they didn't have a steel shank. This style with the light heel, that does have a steel shank. And that's for sure. I cut it apart. I pulled the thing out. The thing's huge. It has a big steel shank in there. So that's something. But yeah, I think the other style would do a little better for me. But like I said, these are probably one of the, if not the most popular boots that I see on a daily basis in like all sorts of industries. Plumbers. I have plumber friends that swear by these. They will wear nothing else. And they'll wear them for years. They'll wear it down to almost nothing. They just keep going. I got an HVAC friend. He wears the other style where it's just a wedge, and the composite toe, the ST. I've tried to talk him into trying some other stuff. He will not touch another boot. He swears by it. That's it. And he oils it with that Dobbler from Red Wing. He doesn't use open-offs, and he'll oil it occasionally. We're talking people that don't take care of their boots at all. Like, that's the last thing they think about. And I don't blame you. I mean, in the trades, like, we don't pay attention to this stuff. I do, because I love boots. I don't know what it is. I'll talk to anyone about boots at any time. If I see you in the store at Home Depot when you're wearing these, I'm going to comment to you about it. And you're going to think I'm nuts, and I probably should stop doing that, because some people do look at me like, This dude's talking about my boots. But anyway, the Red Wing, or should I say the Irish Setter Wingshooter, a very popular boot. In my opinion, I would take a traction tread light over these personally. I love the traction tread lights. I got to do a video on those sometime soon. But anyways, thanks for watching the Red Wing or the Irish Setter Wingshooter. Thanks.